Let's see if this works. Hey everybody, I'm at home. Can you believe that? What a rare and special treat. So we're going to continue with the Pilgrim at Tinker Creek, chapter Northing. Pilgrim at Tinker Creek by Annie Dillard. A really incredible book. I started reading this in search of authors that had touched upon the things that I talk about in my own book, Going Alone. And it started off with a book called Solitude, which was a treatment by an English woman about the topic of solitude. And she listed a number of authors that seemed to be intriguing, one of which was Annie Dillard, who won the Pulitzer Prize for this novel in 1975 when she was only 29 years old. Her writing is just simply stunning. And it's a real pleasure to actually be... Oh, just popped it off. It's a real pleasure to actually be home. For a change to do this. Hold on, Rudy. Hold on. I've got one job. Yumiko's cooking dinner right now. And I've got one job, and I'm failing at it, which is to keep this little dog out of the kitchen. And so I'm going to try to do that. I got another dog right here. He's a little better behaved. Well, not that Rudy is a poorly behaved dog. He's not. Oh, hi, Ron. How you doing? Just get off work? Yeah. How are things over in Israel? But with regard to the the current situation, are you guys like in a lockdown or something? Indeed, you just got off work. What is it, like 3:30 a.m. or something in Israel? All right. Now I've got to confess, guys. I went ahead and I've been reading a little bit onward, so there's no way that I'm going to be able to maintain continuity with this reading because I like to read 3:15. See, I almost had it. So I'm learning your schedule, my friend. So, I mean, there's no way I can keep the continuity because I read a lot when I'm not, other than these little book readings. So let's carry on. So she's talking about this concept of northing. I think this is the final chapter in the book. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. It's interesting. The concept of northing is one that apparently it's an Eskimo concept that has to do with the idea of making your way north, clearly. Anyway, she touches on it a few times. This piece is a lot about butterflies, monarch butterflies. Winter is coming. She's commenting about the winter experience at Tinker Creek. And as you know, what I really go for with this book is really the writing, the beautiful writing. Ron says, and yeah, there's a lockdown, but not a full one. You can go outside, but only if you got a reason, which is fine with just working and doing my thing. Okay. Oh, hello. I've been bathed. Hello, Kurt. Hello, you. I don't think I've seen you before. I would remember that name. I've been bathed. I haven't been bathed. No, I did. Well, I was bathed earlier, but I need to be bathed again. I'm glad to see that you've been bathed. Okay, let's get into it. So this is just midstream, right? Literally just mid-sentence. And I do have, believe it or not, Yumiko's making dinner, and then it's Saturday night, I have a work meeting in about an hour I have to attend. A few weeks before the monarch migration, I visited Carvin's Cove, a reservoir in the gap between Tinker and Bruisley Mountains. And there, beside the forest path, I saw, it occurred to me now, Abba Moses. Now, I have to back up a paragraph because she talks about this guy, Abba Moses, which is from another book called The Sayings of the Desert Fathers, which is funny because she references, this is the triangulation, right? The author of the book Solitude talks about the book, The Sayings of the Desert Fathers, which I did buy. It's sitting in my pile of my to-read pile. And here Annie Dinker talks about the same Desert Fathers, although she gives it a different name. It's like the Apothecary or something. It's not an apothecary, but it's something like that. So I'll just go ahead and start from the top of that paragraph right there. Before the aurora borealis appears, the sensitive needle... Oh, I love this paragraph. This is really beautiful. Before the aurora borealis appears, the northern lights, the sensitive needles of compasses all over the world are restless for hours, agitating on their pins in airplanes and ships, trembling in desk drawers, in attics, in boxes, on shelves. I love that idea of compass needles twitching. Whoa, there he goes. I failed. I failed. Okay, let's see if I can get him back. Rudy, come here. Your job is to stay with me. Come here, come here. Because you're going to just get under Mama's feet while she's cooking. Come here. He knows. Come here, come here. There we go. Here we go, buddy. There we go. All right. He just loves to hang out with Mama when she's cooking. We're in the kitchen. But isn't that an intriguing idea? The idea of compass needles twitching just before the onset of the aurora borealis? I had a curious dream last night that stirred me. I visited the house of my childhood, and the basement there was covered with a fine sifting of snow. I lifted a snow-covered rug and found underneath it a bound sheath of ink drawings I had made when I was 6. Next to the basement, but unattached to it, extended a prayer tunnel. I didn't know what a prayer tunnel is. I still don't know what a prayer tunnel is. The prayer tunnel was a tunnel fully enclosed by solid snow. It was cylindrical, and its diameter was the height of a man. Only an Eskimo, and then only very rarely, could survive in the prayer tunnel. There was, however, no exit or entrance, but I nevertheless understood that if I, almost anyone, volunteered to enter it, death would follow after a long and bitter struggle. Inside the tunnel, it was killingly cold, and a hollow wind like broadswords never ceased to blow. But there was little breathable air, and that soon gone. It was utterly without light, and from all eternity, it snowed the same fine, unmelting, wind-hurled snow. So I wonder what that is. She does that a lot. She refers to literary things that you have to kind of uncover. So you have to dig in and find out what's the snow tunnel reference. Is it like this whole Eskimo thing? Is it a theme from Eskimo, from Inuit mythology or culture? I don't know. I've been reading, here it is, here's the word that I'm going to have a hard time pronouncing. And she's talking about the desert fathers, the hermit monks in the desert. I've been reading the Apothegmata, the sayings of 4th and 5th century Egyptian desert hermits. Abba Moses said to a disciple, "Go and sit in your cell, and your cell will teach you everything." A few weeks before the monarch migration, I visited Carvin's Cove, a reservoir in a gap between Tinker and Brushy Mountains. And there, beside the forest path, I saw, it occurred to me now, Abba Moses in the form of an acorn. The acorn was, now I get it. I read this before. Now I get it. Abba Moses saying, "Go to your cell and your cell will teach you." And she sees Abba Moses in the acorn. The acorn was screwing itself into the soil. From a raw split in its husk burst a long white root that plunged like an arrow into the earth. The acorn itself was loose, but the root was fixed. I thought he wants to come with you. What? Rudy wants to come to you. There you go. Go to Emmy. Whoop, whoop. We almost mixed the dogs. I am reading a book on YouTube right now. There are 6 people watching. How weird is that? Pretty weird. But Emily, this is social distancing. So I've been relieved of the dog. Believe it or not, there's a beer. Yumiko got a beer for me. I don't drink beer very much anymore. I drink a little bit of rice wine once in a while. Although I do have a beer once in a while for dinner in Ventura if I had a tough day. And Miss Mommy, hey, there's Miss Mommy. She's like, "Whatever you say, Dad, LOL." Yeah, it's good to see you, Miss Mommy. And Miss Mommy, do you remember? You're special. Anyway, so Yumiko got me a couple of beers that were given to her by the supplier for the restaurant chain that she works for. I think they said that they gave it to her to make things feel a little bit better. Watch out, Emmy. Those dogs are going to fight. You're very welcome, Miss Mommy. So, but I'm not going to have the beer right now. I'm going to wait. I've got a meeting. I've got a work meeting in an hour. So I'll wait. I don't want to be drinking before the meeting. Here we go, we're back to our Abba Moses and the acorn. So imagine she refers to the desert father, Abba Moses, telling the disciple, go to your cell and the cell will teach you. And then she's talking about seeing an acorn in the fall ground, laying on the ground, auguring in and pushing up. Nightfall says, softypapa, are you a nihilist? Yes, I am a nihilist. Yep, patently, decidedly. Let's see. Let's try this again. A few weeks before the monarch migration, I visited Carvin's Cove, a reservoir in a gap between Tinker and Brushy Mountains. And there, beside the forest path, I saw, it occurs to me now, Abba Moses in the form of an acorn. The acorn was screwing itself into the soil. From a raw split in its husk burst a long white root that plunged like an arrow into the earth. The acorn itself was loose, but the root was fixed. I thought if I could lift the acorn and stand, I would heave the world. Beside the root erupted a greening shoot, and from the shoot spread two furred, serrated leaves, tiny leaves of chestnut oak, the size of two intricate grains of rice. That acorn was pressured, blown, driven down with force, and up with furl, making at once a power dive to grit and here's French, grande jeté en l'air. I don't know what that means. But what an incredible little paragraph there to describe the single acorn dropping from the tree, sitting on the autumn ground. What is it? September. It's just before the monarch butterflies migrate. Softypapa, why are you a nihilist? Are you shy? Let me address that after I address this paragraph. The acorn is on the ground, and it's doing its thing, splitting out a little root that's coming down and auguring in, and then sending up two little acorn leaves for the start. And she gives the impression of picking it up, and if she could pick it up, she could lift the whole earth. Interesting imagery through writing. Why am I a nihilist? I'm a nihilist because I don't think the universe, I could say I'm a nihilist because I don't believe God exists, but that's not quite it. I don't think the universe gives a damn. So I think that it's just, we got one another. We don't have anyone looking out for us. So that's what it depends on, I should ask, how do you define nihilist? I would define, for me, nihilist is someone who doesn't think the universe, thinks there's no meaning to life, no objective meaning to life. Although I do think there's a little bit of objective meaning. I think there's objective meaning in our DNA mandate to procreate and to survive long enough to ensure that our children, are viable as adults. But other than that, I don't think the universe gives a damn. So that's the whole premise and purpose of my book, Going Alone. It's a very nihilistic book. So Miss Mommy says, Dear Softypapa, fit this definition, a person who believes that life is meaningless and rejects all religious and moral principles. You nailed it, Miss Mommy. That's exactly it. That's why I'm a nihilist. Aren't nihilists hermits? I don't know. I think you could be a hermit and not necessarily be a nihilist. In fact, I think a lot of hermits are not nihilists. Think about the anchorite hermits that we used to, live in the little structures right next to, adjoined to the church, the anchorage, right next to the church, and they have that little hole that they could peek out. What was that called? It's called there's a name for it, a little hole they could peek out and watch the church service. They're religious. So, if they're religious and they believe in a God, especially if it's a Christian God, I don't think that counts as nihilist. Hello, people. Hey, Sam Hammer. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. And random question, Sam says, did you hear about Mad Mike Hughes? Yeah, I did. Real sad. I'm really sad to hear that Mike died. I had to look that up, honestly. I didn't know what nihilist was. Yeah, it's an interesting word. It's got a lot of bad rap. Typically, the term nihilist, it's kind of associated sometimes with a youthful what?
I can always count on my family
To carry the dog.
to do one job.
I got the one job, which is to watch the dog. And then, well, I thought Emily took the dog. Come here, little dog. Come here.
My family is so reliable.
We're so reliable. We'll keep this dog in good order. Okay. Oh, well, I thought Emily took the dog. Let's see.
Dinner almost.
Oh, it's almost dinner. Okay, well, I better stop then. You interviewed him once. Yeah, I did interview Mike Hughes. Actually, I met him twice. Does Yumiko and Emily speak Japanese between them? I don't know. Do you and Emily speak Japanese? I hear sometimes you speak Japanese to her. What do you know? You guys mix it up, huh?
Yeah, like 30% Japanese, 70% English.
30%. Yumiko says 30% Japanese, 70% English. He died in a pretty awesome way, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to smirk, but what a way to go. Yeah, I agree. Well, everybody, Yumiko says it's dinner time, so I better stop. We only got a little paragraph in. I'm probably going to finish this before I start again. I've got another book in the lineup that will start soon. Is your dog mixed with Papillon? We don't know what Rudy is. Rudy, we've only had Rudy. How long have we had Rudy's? 5 months? 6 months? Something like that? And we don't know what he is. We think he's... Oh, and I got to feed the dogs, too. We think he's Chihuahua and what is it? Something else. And that's Ollie. He's something. He looks like Chihuahua and Papillon. Maybe. Could be. He's a terror. This guy will bite your little heels if he can. All right, Sam. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. So you have no friends whatsoever? No, I have no friends whatsoever. Just my wife and my daughter. Okay, everybody. Take care, everybody. I hope you have a great evening. Remember, be safe, but not too safe. And talk to you all soon. Bye-bye. Thank you, Miss Mommy. Take care.